Hey guys, welcome to A Taste for Life and to today's video, something I eat in a day in anorexia recovery as someone who was already a fussy eater with many sensory sensitivities around food. So today I'm going to be making what I have titled as These Are Not Donuts. Now take that name as what I've just called this recipe, but also take it very literally, okay? I'm not trying to recreate the donut. I'm not trying to do a healthy version of a donut. I'm just trying to combine different flavors that I'm not familiar with them being together and incorporate new flavors that I'm trying to get my palate used to, I guess. And the only reason I'm referencing donuts at all is because I will be using this silicone donut mold that I just got from Kmart. It's really cute, but I'm using it just to put the mixture in and to bake it. They're not donuts by any means, never will be, can't replace a donut, but this is just what I'm going for today's recipe. So I'm going to be making two types of These Are Not Donuts. The first one I'm going to be making is called French toast, and the second one I'm going to be making is called fruit and nuts. I am starting off with 93 to 94, make that 93 grams of egg whites. And I am using this. It is called Pure Eggs Simply Egg Whites. Now, if you're going to use actual eggs, which is perfectly fine, you can do that. You just want to separate the egg whites from the egg yolks, obviously, and you'll probably be looking at using 3 medium-sized eggs to get this amount of egg yolk. And the reason that I'm very specific with the amount of egg yolk that I'm using is because I want to make sure that I'm rationing out this carton carefully. So the good thing about these egg whites is that you can actually freeze them once you've opened it for, one time you can freeze it and then defrost it and use it again. And my intention is to make actually 4 flavors. So today I'm doing 2, but next week I intend to do another 2 that are savory versions, which I may or may not film depending on how this recipe goes in the first place. Because I have to say, I have not tried making these. I have not tried eating these. I don't know if they will even work like scientifically with the ingredients and the ratios that I use. But let's just see how we go. So back to the French toast. So we've started with our egg whites. Now I'm going to add about a tablespoon of flour, and this is going to be very frustrating, but 2/10 of a teaspoon of bicarb soda as well mixed into that. And I know that's a very odd measurement, but really it's the only way I can describe it. Just a very, very, very little amount of bicarb, I guess. So let's put that in, and let's just mix that up. This looks very runny, so I don't really know if it's the right consistency. Something I didn't do was put the flour and the bicarb through a sieve. So I'm probably going to end up with bumps no matter how much I whisk this. So I'm going to stop there. What else I'm going to add to the French toast ones is a squirt of maple syrup. Just like a little bit. I don't know. No exact measurement here. Just guessing. Some cinnamon sugar. And you can use ground cinnamon, which I was contemplating using, but then I'd probably want to sweeten it up a little bit anyway. But then you've also got the maple syrup, so I don't know. Use whatever version you like. I'm going to use some cinnamon sugar. Whisk that in. It smells really good. And then I'm going to get a bit creative here. And I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of smooth Biscoff spread. And the reason I actually chose a kind of French toast theme flavor for this recipe is because I tried it when I was younger and it's just something that I could not enjoy. And I'm just going to whisk that all through. I think a smarter idea would have been to start with the Biscoff spread, adding it to your dry ingredients, because then you could kind of cream it together. Whereas now I'm just trying to put my spoon to the bottom of the bowl to see if I can feel any lumps of spread. But I think I'm getting most of it anyway. Nope. No, I'm not. I just found a big clump. That's okay. We'll just keep working through with this one. And I'm just wondering how I'm going to go pouring it into the silicone molds. So when I initially came up with this recipe, I was thinking it was going to make one donut, or not donut, sorry, not a donut. It was going to fit into one of the molds of the donuts. But now looking at how much batter there is, I'm thinking it may even be 2 or 3. So let me start pouring it in. This is not going to be a graceful experience by any means, so bear with me. But you'll see what I've done here is put the silicone molds on a baking tray. So that's just to help with its durability. Like, as you can see, it's pretty flexible and it's quite floppy. So if I add a liquidy substance into it, it's very likely that when I pick it up to put it into the oven, it's just going to collapse on itself and all of it's going to go everywhere. So if we have a sturdy base, it sounds like it'll be a little bit more workable, but we'll test it out. So I'm just gonna pour some batter. Okay, it's not so bad. So I've done it to nearly the top. And what I'm gonna do is kind of spread out the batter. So I'm guessing this will make 2 and a bit, which is annoying because where am I gonna put the bit? But if I thought it was only gonna make 1 or 2, I'd put 2 on that side and 2 on that side. You just wanna think about weight distribution when you're moving it. It shouldn't be so much of an issue because we've got that baking tray down the bottom, but you know, you can never be too careful. But I will put them together this time. So I don't know if you can tell, but the bottom of the bowl is literally all the Biscoff. Whoop, drop some batter. Which, you know what, I'm just gonna spoon into half in this one. Maybe I'll just get a really good Biscoffy kind of flavor every now and then in these not donuts. We'll see how that works. I managed to get 2 right to the top, so I'm gonna be very careful when transferring this, but that's actually really good. Now I know that this recipe makes about 2. So let's finish with that. I'm gonna pop over here and get the ingredients for the next one, so bear with me. Okay guys, so we are going to start exactly the same way, and that's with a base of 93 to 94 grams of egg whites, or about 3 egg whites if you're using actual eggs. So that's just in a little mixing bowl, and again we're going to add 1 tablespoon of flour and 2/10 a teaspoon of bicarb. I am sorry, if anyone knows how to convert or put that in simpler terms, please feel free to comment or make any adjustments you feel are more accurate, but I'm just making this up as I go along. And I've learned this time, so I'm going to get the sieve, hold on. And we're going to do it properly and see if there's actually a difference in consistency. This will be interesting. I doubt there will be though. Okay, so we're done with those. Pop it in the sink. And next we are going to add, oh, by the way, this is the fruit and nut flavor if anyone has forgotten what the second flavor was. So to this mixture, which I will mix, we are going to end up adding about 20 grams of cream cheese. Oh, sorry, cream cheese. We're going to add about 20 grams of cottage cheese, half a tablespoon of blueberry jam, and half a tablespoon of sugar-free strawberry jam, which is the Nutvia brand. And then we are going to finish it off with 2 teaspoons of Simply Nuts smooth peanut butter, which is probably my favorite peanut butter. So anyway, that's about mixed in, and you really don't see a difference. Like, you probably can't see that, but there was really no difference in the batter if I use the sieve or not. Like, it pretty much looks exactly the same as the other batch. So I don't know, do with that what you will. So let's get our other ingredients. So this is the 20 grams of cottage cheese, and I'm doing this because I think it might just make them a little fluffy. I don't know, maybe, we'll see, but we'll just whack that in there. And then pop this in the sink. And then we're gonna do half blueberry jam, half Nutvia strawberry jam. Now, the interesting thing about blueberry jam, and the reason I chose it in the first place, was because I really wanted to try and incorporate blueberries into my diet. Like, I know they're full of antioxidants and they're meant to be really good for you. So I'm like, woohoo, a superfood, let's try and get onto that. But I do remember a little while ago, I have tried an actual blueberry and I hated it. Like, I think it threw me off because I didn't expect that blueberries have a blue skin. Like, it's kind of like a filmy skin that a blueberry has. And when you bite into it, it's actually white inside. It's not blue inside. Like, it's not blue throughout the whole entire fruit, or berry, sorry. And that threw me off. I don't know why. I don't particularly remember the flavor, but I do remember thinking this feels weird in my mouth, and also why is it not blue all the way through? So I'm just gonna go with a very close substitute. And this is a blueberry fruit spread made from 100% fruit. So this would be as close to blueberry flavor as I can get without eating an actual blueberry. And I just sniffed it before and it smells super sweet. And I was gonna put half a tablespoon in, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna do like a teaspoon of this one. Or maybe just like, yeah, I'm just gonna start with a teaspoon of this one because that was a very potent smell. And it's a generous teaspoon, like it's a good amount. So I'm just gonna pop that in there. Oh yeah, I don't like the smell of it, but we'll see. Maybe combined with everything else, it'll be okay. So next we'll put in some of the strawberry jam. And again, I was going to use half a tablespoon of this as well, but I don't want it to be so overpowering that I can't tell if I like the other jam or not. So because it's a more mild flavor, I'll probably put 1.5 teaspoons. And And I think that won't overpower the blueberries, and I'll still be able to get a hint of it to see if I like it or not. So that's fine. And then we finish off with our peanut butter, which is my favorite part because I have really grown to like peanut butter, which is another funny thing. So when I was in hospital, so I was kind of forced into liking it, but eventually I did like it. So that's good, I guess. And I skimmed on the first teaspoon, so I'm putting more, and I'll probably add even just a little bit more because I really like peanut butter. It tastes nice. And I'm just going to use a little spoon to scrape it off the teaspoon because I want all of it. I want all that goodness. And then we can just have a little bit while I mix. And I've got to say, this mixture looks particularly ugly. Like, it looks considerably ugly compared to the last one. It's a little bit purple, and obviously that's just because of the blueberries and jam mixing together. But I'm not going to judge it by what it looks like in its raw form. I'm going to cook them and see how it goes, and hopefully it looks better later. So this uses a lot of dishes. And it is time to pour the batter in after I clean the bench. Okay, so let's bring back our tray. And this one, for some reason, I guess there was a few additional add-ons to this batter in particular. So there does look like there is more of it. I don't know if I will be able to fit it in just 2 donut rings. But we'll see what we can do. And I'm going to start just on the opposite end. If I need to use one in the middle, I'll do it, but hopefully not. Okay, so that and that. Ooh, we are pushing our luck. It's not going to fit in 2. This one makes probably 2 and a bit. So I'm going to have a very deflated and burnt donut in the middle because the other ones need more cooking time, obviously. But, you know, we're just trying to get a good ratio here. I was not sure if it would work, and I'm happy enough with that. So just so you get a rough gauge of what the batter looks like, the 2 over here are the French toast flavors, and these 3 are the fruit and nut flavors. So as you can see, this one over here is not full to the top the way the other ones are. So I feel like that might be the burnt one. It may be a little bit crispier than the rest, but you know, it's all a trial and error process at this moment. So let's see how it goes. So I'm going to pop them in the oven, and again, I'm not using a recipe, so just to be safe, I'm going to put them in at 180 for, I don't even know how long. I can't even predict it. I'm just going to leave the oven light on and check them like every minute, and I'll get back to you with how long it takes. Let's go get him.